Hello, grade 3. How are you? I hope everything is going very well for you. Miss you very much. Today we are going to work with the workbook and we are on page 30 now. So let's open the workbook. This will be mostly homework for you, but I will explain to you everything you need to know before you start working. The first exercise is reading and thinking on page 30 in your workbook, as you can see. And don't worry if you don't have your workbook with you now, you can use this file. I am going to give you the file. So first you have to read the sentences and we have to circle the word that has a similar meaning to the word in bold. What we need to know is we are going to look at this word, for example, here, actions. One of these words has the same meaning. We have thoughts, deeds, and ideas. So the way we can do this is by using a dictionary. We are going to use a dictionary and look up the words thoughts, look up the word deed, and look up the word ideas. Now, after we look up, we will see one word that has the same meaning. So to do this, I am going to look up the words here, and then I'm going to choose one. After I used my dictionary, I noticed that the word deeds mean something that we do, something we do. So the word deeds means something we do. I'm going to choose this word because it has the same meaning as the word actions, Okay, now I want you to do the same thing for all of these words, all of them. You are going to do the same thing. Let's move now to the next exercise. This exercise is about the student's book, pages 52 to 55. We are going to take a look here at these pages and we are going to read the story again that we read together, if you remember. After we read the story, we are going to say the characters, which character said this, if you remember, we had many different characters. We had Wombat, we had Tidalik, the frog, we had the kangaroos, the eels, etc. So I would like you to take a look at this and decide who said this thing. The first sentence, we should make him laugh. Who said that? One character said that. Go back to the text on page 52 and see the character. And we remember the character is the people or the things that speak in the story, the animals that speak in the story. In page 31, we are also going to read the story, and some of these sentences here, the sentences are true and some are false. I would like you to see which of these sentences is true. For example, this one, plants and animals need water to survive. Now you have to decide if this sentence is true or not. If it's true, you have to tick it like this. If it's false, you have to put false next to it, like an X. True or false? You decide, okay? Survive means to stay alive, to stay alive. The next one is about the past verb, the past verbs. Now, here we have verbs like complain, hop, which means to jump, move, and search. Complain means to, when you say that you don't like something. You say, this food is not good, or this homework is very difficult. This is complaining. When you say the things that you don't like. Now, what I want you to do here is I want you to find the past verb, the past tense. you have to check your dictionary for the spelling, because spelling could be different when you add ed to these verbs. The next one, the vocabulary. Here are the animals. This is a frog. This is a wombat. This is emus and the eel and the kangaroos. I already wrote the names, but I want you to match the description, the definition, or the description, how we describe these animals. I would like you to match it with the animal. For example, which one is a large flightless bird? A large flightless bird. Now you have to find the answer to match it on your notebook. Here we have this animal, and we have many descriptions of this animal. What I want you to do here is to read them. Like they have, this animal has whiskers, pink nose, 5 clawed toes, they have pink ears, etc. I would like you to write a short paragraph to describe this animal. I don't want you to do this exercise on page 32 about Achilles. I don't want you to do it. We didn't study it in class, so we are not going to do it. This is cancelled. This is my one of my favorite exercises. We have to find the past tense. Now, these verbs they have the present, they give you the present verb, and you have to write the past. Some of these are in this chart. You can find the answers in this chart. I'll tell you something about these verbs here. These verbs are actually, these verbs are irregular verbs, which means that they don't end in ed. If we go back to this page here, page 30, we had, no, sorry, not 30, page 31, this exercise, these verbs are regular verbs. They end in ed. But these ones here, they end in ed because they are regular verbs. However, if we move to this page here, page 33, these verbs are irregular verbs. Irregular verbs, which means that they do not end with ed. For example, I don't say fall, falled. There is another verb that I have to find. Okay? So this is what you need to do. You can use your dictionary, or if you remember it from class, you can write it. But check your dictionary, and this is the way that you should do it. Here we have two words. We have boastful, and we have the word stubborn. And we studied these two words. Together. I would like you to circle the correct meaning of each of these words. This is for exercise 1 on page 34. On exercise 2, we are going to describe the sun, and we are going to describe the wind. How can you describe the character of the sun and the character of the wind? And let me explain something, please. I don't want you to talk about the sun or to talk about the wind in general. I would like you to talk about these stories using the student's book, page 61 and 62. You have to read the stories again that we read together. It's a good practice. You can read it again. And then you are going to describe the characters. We are not going to describe the real sun or the wind or the real wind, okay? Because real sun doesn't talk and real wind doesn't talk. They don't have conversations like us. what we need to do here is to find the description from the story. And it is on page 61 and 62. On page 35, I believe, 35, on page 35, we are going to look at these words. Now we are going to replace, look at these verbs. They all say, they're written here, said lion, said mouse, said asked lion, said mouse, said lion. All of them are actually repetitive. They keep repeating said. It's not interesting. More interesting words instead of these ones can be words like roared, squeaked, questioned, sneered, and begged. Now, we need to know that these words, they have different meaning. Like when the lion says, I am going to eat you. How does the lion speak? Does he question or does he squeak like a small, very thin voice? No, they speak with a very big voice, like I'm going to eat you. So what is this voice? So the lion, when they talk, they roar. They roar. This is the sound of the lions. The mouse has a different sound. So we are going to find it from here. So number one, this is number one. Roared is going to be here. But you have to find the other ones. You have to find them and you have to look at the sentence here. Please don't eat me. What kind of sound is that? Or, and why not? What kind of sound is that? Maybe I can help you one day. This is what the mouse said again. So this is a different sound. And when somebody says, please explain how a tiny mouse like you could possibly help me. And this is also another sound that you need to find the best word, the best interesting word to match. To match it with. And in exercise 2, this is the last exercise. Read the myth about the wind and the sun again. So we are going to read the myth and the sun. The myth, the wind and the sun one more time. This is what we are going to do. We are going to read it one more time. And we are going to find the dialogue in the story and rewrite it. Now here I gave you an example. I wrote it myself. I wrote an example. But I want you to make a conversation between the wind and the sun and what happened at the end. So here they say, I am the strongest, the wind starts with, I am the strongest and most important force in the weather. And you have to say what the sun said and you have to keep going with your answers. This is our lesson for today. I hope that you find it easy to do the workbook. If you have any questions, please email me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for the hard work, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.